In the previous episode, we witnessed the fury of nature in the southern cities of China. We have seen thousands of cars floating on the water flooding into shopping malls and carrying away goods, and many other horrifying events have occurred. Now join us as we explore what will happen in the rural areas when the flood arrives. It started so innocently. Dark clouds gathered ominously over the horizon, casting an eerie shadow over the once vibrant landscape. I could feel a sense of dread creeping in as the first thunderclap shook the sky. Raindrops began to fall, light at first, but quickly growing heavier and heavier until it was a torrential downpour. Streams on the mountainside swelled and turned into raging torrents, feeding into the mighty rivers below. The power of the water was terrifying. Reservoirs at the hydroelectric dams filled at an alarming rate, forcing the authorities to open the floodgates. The unleashed water surged downstream with an unstoppable fury. Panic spread like wildfire among the onlookers as the devastation unfolded before our eyes. I watched in horror as the river, now a monstrous force of nature, tore through everything in its path. Homes that had stood for generations along the riverbanks were mercilessly swept away. Their owners stood helpless, their faces twisted in anguish as their lives were carried off by the roaring waters. Oh my God, a massive bridge, an essential lifeline for the community, was wrenched from its foundations and collapsed into the churning flood. The floodwaters didn't stop there. They surged through the villages, carrying with them trees, mud, and even livestock. The speed at which the water rose was beyond belief. Within moments, everything was submerged, leaving only the rooftops visible. What was once a sprawling countryside had transformed into a vast, desolate sea. The sheer magnitude of the flood left me breathless, heart pounding in my chest. This wasn't just nature's wrath, it was a catastrophe of unimaginable proportions. Houses, built with the hard-earned savings of a lifetime, are now submerged. Crops, painstakingly cultivated by the villagers, are destroyed. Livestock, the backbone of many families' livelihoods, are gone. Even the local factories and cultural monuments, some with histories spanning thousands of years, have not been spared. The enormity of the destruction is staggering. The reconstruction efforts after the flood will likely take years and come at a tremendous cost. This catastrophe is a stark reminder of the importance of cherishing what we have. Driving on the roads now is fraught with danger. Landslides could occur at any moment as the saturated soil on either side becomes unstable and heavy, threatening to collapse. The ground beneath our feet feels precarious, and every step must be taken with the utmost caution. This scene of utter devastation has imprinted itself on my mind. It's a living nightmare, a powerful lesson in the unforgiving force of nature and the resilience required to rebuild in its wake. Primary rescue and relief needs of affected areas are the supply of building materials, restoration of infrastructure, and support for medical and health services. Various social organizations have actively participated in rescue efforts by distributing relief supplies, providing emergency rescue, in supporting post-disaster reconstruction to help the affected areas return to normal production and living conditions. The national natural disaster risk situation is increasingly complex and severe. Statistics show that the current rainfall in southern China is characterized by its high intensity, concentration, sustained duration, and widespread impact. According to state media, as of June 26, 26 provinces, regions, and cities across the country have suffered from flooding. In Guangxi province, heavy rain and flooding have caused river levels to rise sharply, and severe urban and rural flooding, affecting 21,269 people and necessitating the emergency evacuation of 2,354 people. Guangdong province has experienced continuous heavy rainfall, leading to the first flood in the Beijiang River, with 13 rivers exceeding warning levels. Jiangxi province has entered a critical period for flood control, with continuous heavy rain causing landslides, flooded crops, inundated houses, downed power facilities, and damaged roads. 670,000 people have been affected with direct economic losses of 660 million yuan, $90 million USD. Hunan province has experienced the longest and most intense rainfall of the year, severely affecting numerous industrial and agricultural infrastructures. The province has seen 1.7945 million people affected, 10 deaths, 3 missing persons, the collapse or severe damage of 1,995 homes, 2,966 rooms, and direct economic losses of 4.074 billion yuan, $559 million USD. In central and southern Fujian province, continuous heavy rainfall has led to widespread flooding and multiple rivers exceeding warning levels and has affected 50,821 people, with 11,035 people urgently relocated, 2,963 hectares of crops damaged, 66 homes collapsed, and direct economic losses of 315 million yuan, $43,000 USD. 29 counties in Guizhou province have experienced heavy rain. Other areas have also been affected by heavy rain, facing risks of flash floods, mudslides, and landslides, necessitating enhanced prevention and response measures. You can watch the footage of the floods in the southern cities of China in the previous episode. Best wishes to those affected by the floods. Thank you for watching the video.